Hello there, Reject Nation. I'm Greg Alba.
I'm John Humphrey.
We're gonna watch a video from Caine. Talks about Christian Bale's rant. Oh, you have to fucking shut, you prick. John and I have been quoting that rant on our own time
every day
for like 10 years.
10 years.
Speaking of 10 years, this is coming from Cameron French, top reward tier request from Patreon. It is the 10-year anniversary of my favorite Terminator film, Terminator Salvation.
Oh, yes, the best John Connor interpretation.
You killed my mother, Sarah Connor. Craig Ferguson, he was great
Love him.
before he got taken over by that British guy.
I know, what's
Carpools, he is hilarious, Gordon.
he is pretty fun.
After that, I think probably do Batman. Oh, another Batman, that's good. Christian Bale again? Yeah. I like Christian Bale. I like Christian Bale. I think Christian Bale is great. Do you remember when they had that thing where they released the tapes of him being all angry on a film set? Yeah. And he got in trouble, and I went mad. I was like, you pay this guy to be unstable and crazy, right? And then
Exactly.
when he's unstable and crazy, you go, oh, that's disgraceful. You pay him to be unstable and crazy. But I wasn't surprised at that at all, because I used to have a very bad temper. I don't now, but I used to. And I mean, what Christian did was quite pale to what I would do sometimes.
This is funny now.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
I once did 45 minutes. But there was no one recording it. Well, I think they started and ran out of tape. I think what happens though, if you ask an actor to be all kind of, keyed up and tense, and they've been waiting around all day to be a certain way, and then you kind of, You know what worried me about that? What? That was a big special effects picture, right? Right. It takes ages for it to come out. Right. They recorded this during shooting, and the record never came on the television and the radio till the week it was being released. Yeah. Isn't that suspicious? It is. It's almost as if the studio were in somewhere. Exactly. Yeah. You know what they're like. You know I do. Yeah. They're slimy. Christian is a lovely boy. He is nice, Christian. I've never met him, but I've decided he's nice. I know him very well. Take my word for it. I'm his butler. I look after. I brought the boy out. Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Aww.
That's you leave him wanting more. That's
Yeah.
why Craig is a great host and Michael Caine's a great guest.
I don't know how well this interview would have gone over today. People being like, you're just normalizing treating people disrespectful on set is an okay thing. Like everything, like what he was saying. I'm like, that Jeffrey Tambor thing wasn't put down lightly when the rest of the development cast in that interview. Jason Bateman mansplained the whole situation. Freaking Jason Bateman.
Oh, yeah.
Sarcasm, personality.
And then everybody came out and apologized in tandem.
Yeah, and then the rest of the development didn't promote anything. That's always the funny thing to me about actors in general, what Craig Ferguson brought up. I haven't heard this before, but that is almost word for word what I've said about what I found fascinating about Christian Bale, is that he can play a rageful Batman, he can play an American Psycho, and we go, brilliant, beautiful.
Yeah.
The day he has a slip up, they catch him in this moment in time where he's gone crazy on set one day, then suddenly it's like, no. And I know that there's a line between professionalism, like you can't treat people like that. I can 1,000%
a bad
agree.
situation.
I'm saying I find it fascinating how we praise them for a performance, and that's part of why I think acting is a cool and beautiful thing, because you can be rageful and you get praised for that. Or real life, a lot of times when people cry, people say stop crying, but on camera you're like, good tears,
Yeah. Cry more.
Yet when you have that moment, which he apologized for, and I'm remembering now, didn't you say someone came to your school and talked about that they were on set that day?
Oh man, ooh.
You said an AD or something came by, and they talked about how everyone. I remember you told me that how AD came by on set and said.
Oh,
that,
they made up soon after. Yeah, they said I don't know. They talked and they kind of rectified the situation not long after that happened, and things kind of returned to normal.
I remember John's story. I was trying to set him up
to
tell the story that he told me 10 years ago, and he can't remember.
Yeah, it's been so long since we've talked about this part of the story. Usually it's just quotes from the tape.
Like this in the background. What the fuck?
I know, which is the best tape ever.
And the remix.
It is out so it's funny how funny that video is. The audio and context are like, oh my God, he's going crazy on him. But after a while, you're like, this shit is so funny. Just because he's so over the top, ridiculously mad at it. And it's so unreasonable. There's like
point.
no way you're an angry as Christian Bale in that audio.
Do I want? No! No! Don't shut me up!
That you just laugh at him. You're like, damn, he is ridiculous.
Dude, you need to calm yourself.
Why the fuck? Yeah.
No, don't shut me up.
Oh, good for you!
And then like Big G pussying out. I didn't see it happen. Well, you were
Take a walk. I'm ready to take a walk. Let's do it again.
Let's not have you. I think it's funny because we've all dealt with idiots before who we wanted to lose our shit on. And so there's that weird thing where you're judging Christian Bale for how ridiculous he is. At the same time, I think we all have to.
It's very relatable.
We have to admit to ourselves there's something about how angry he is that is also relatable.
Yeah. Tell my story for me.
Yeah, well, you said that an AD came to your school, and you said that the set was just already so tense, and the weather conditions they were dealing with were so harsh that someone was bound.
He said someone was going to lose it, and it just happened to be him first. Yeah. I remember that part of it.
It's all right, John.
Thank you for jogging my memory. But yeah, no, I have heard it, and from others, people, I'm sure it's out there online too, that was a difficult set. I don't know. I mean, you shouldn't act that way. You shouldn't be abusive like that. But at the same time, none of us were there. In that particular situation, it's like, yeah, dude, stop belaboring the point. Calm down. And yeah, maybe in the next shot, don't walk through the thing when we're rolling a take.
Yeah, no, it just became into like an anger blame game.
Yeah.
Of course, they don't have the apology on camera or anything like that. But even that guy came out and was like, yeah, we made up.
Yeah. Well, and the thing too is, I think the problem for Christian Bale comes in more with the fact that the conflicts he's had with his wife and sister or whatever. There was like some kind of situation involving his family.
I think he killed them?
Yeah, he killed them, and he played around with their blood. But no, I think he's had some kind of domestic disputes in the past that are a bit muddy, like not so cleanly cut that we have canceled him or whatever, but at least enough to be like, oh, maybe this guy has more than just an isolated incident's worth of an anger problem. I thought it was cool of Michael Caine, too, to basically own up and be like, hey, man, I had a temper back in the day, and I did worse than this.
We're in this progressive stage where we're trying to like cut that shit out permanently, like that. Just really say it's not okay. I've heard more than actors being like crazy. I've heard more of like directors going crazy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Have you seen the footage of, what's that director's name? David O. Russell. Yeah. The set of I Heart Huckabees. Oh. My God. He was crazy in that. Yeah.
Man, yeah. I'm like, dude, you're making
who was a great friend of Christian Bale's, and they worked together several times.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I appreciate Christian Bale's talent, and he amuses me as a person from time to time, but I don't know. I mean, if they both have a temper issue, I could see how birds of a feather and all that stuff. I think this is interesting, too, because, Craig Ferguson just, has such a history and has lived so much life and has, been through a lot of,
He knows the industry, and he has so many personal life things. I actually know you have a pretty big attachment to him. You went to one of the tapings, right?
A couple, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's also, had to basically reform his life from a lot of bad behavior, too, over time. And
that's why I think he can be understanding. I remember, he talked about Mel Gibson once. We know what his problem is. He's an alcoholic. He's got alcoholism, and then when he's in tune with alcohol, this behavior comes out.
Yeah, I always appreciated his ability to come out at this top of certain shows and be very just direct and not do jokes sometimes when there was something important to say.
Yeah, I feel like it's always important to have jokes, though.
Always. There were always a few to break the tension.
Well, Cameron French, thanks for requesting this, buddy. Guys, in celebration of Terminator Salvation, go watch it today. What's sad is when I heard that rant, I was like, he's probably going to give a damn good performance.
For this tension, yeah.
That is easily like the one Christian Bale performance I do not like. I love or like all his performances. And that is the only one I've seen where I'm like, I just really don't like him in that movie. That's the funny part. You're like, oh, he lost Jake. He's so committed.
I was so hyped, and that movie just left such an awful taste in my mouth.
I remember I shouted out Cameron French a while ago, and I was joking about how we talk so much much, and yet I know jack about this guy. He gave me some information here, and I want to share it with you guys. He's from Florida. I did know that. I asked if I could send him a thank you letter. He refused. He said he saw Kevin Smith at an auction with Stan Lee a year before he died. I met Val Kilmer 30 minutes. This is me talking. He met Val Kilmer 30 minutes after he had emergency surgery on his throat due to his throat cancer and signed his Batman mask. He got to...
I want to hear that story.
And he's undercover with the Bureau of Paranormal Research. That is a reference to 2019's biggest box office hit.
Yeah.
Hellman. It's a damn good one. Hellman. Ooh, that's when Hellboy should have like multiple children.
Yeah, when he's got like
boys.
Boys with a
that should have been the third Del Toro movie.
Hellboys. Oh yeah, cross it over with Bad Boys, and you got yourself one hell of a time.
Oh damn.
Oh snap.